Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Roche Posay Effaclar Duo Plus and their Cicaplast JLB5. And this is a great combination if you have combination to oily breakout prone skin, as it helps to clear pores, reduces inflammation, speeds up the healing process of your breakouts, and hydrates, soothes and protects the skin. And you can use both products daily in the morning and or evening if tolerated. And I'm specifically referring to the Effaclar Duo Plus that contains salicylic acid, as this is the formulation that I'm using right here. I'm not talking about the one that contains benzoyl peroxide or adapalene. With this one right here, if tolerated, you can use it daily in the morning and or evening. However, sometimes it can cause sensitivity, and therefore it's best to reduce it to once per day every other day, and then maybe like increase it to once per day daily, and then if you can tolerate it, go with twice per day daily. You really have to figure this out. It's based on your personal tolerance to make sure that no sensitivity occurs. When working with those products, I want to share with you a little example skincare routine to go over the order of application as well as what else is important to remember. And then I want to share with you the entire application on my face. Let's get started with the morning skincare routine, which you can see right here. Go ahead, use a non-exfoliating acid cleanser that's suitable for normal to oily skin. You can see some examples right here to properly wash your face, and then make sure to pat the skin dry. Then I suggest using the Effaclar Duo Plus at first, as it's a gentle exfoliating acid lotion, and then wait 1 to 2 minutes in between for it to absorb before you're going to use the Cicaplast gel on top of it to hydrate and soothe plus protect the skin. And if you have sun exposure during daytime, please don't forget your sunscreen as a last step in the morning. Otherwise, it may make your breakouts, your dark spots worse because they cannot properly heal while using the treatments, and because you have sun exposure and the damaging UV rays can make such concerns worse. Below the example skincare routine, you can see the general guide, which you can use to know how you can properly use the products as well as how much you need to use of them. And that's the guide that I'm going to follow for my demonstration. As for the evening skincare routine, it can look pretty much the same. Just remember that in the evening there's no sunscreen needed, and your Cicaplast JLB5 is your lightweight moisturizer, so there's no need to use an additional moisturizer on top of it. The Cicaplast gel contains everything to properly hydrate, soothe and protect the skin, and then there you have it. If you want to go over the entire example skincare routine in your own time, you want to see what products that I have picked with a little description next to it, and some general skincare tips, you will find all that information in my PowerPoint, which I'm going to leave in the description box down below, and you can even save it to your device. But now let's head into the application. Now I'm going to get started with the first step, which is washing the face. Make sure to use a non-exfoliating acid cleanser that's suitable for your normal to oily skin. Use lukewarm water to warm water, but avoid hot water, otherwise it may dry out your skin. When washing your face above the sink, I highly recommend using a soft, clean, damp washcloth to remove any last traces of your cleanser, sunscreen and or makeup. And then go ahead and pat the skin dry. Those are the key points that you need to remember when washing your face. As an example, I'm going to use Roche Posay Effaclar Purifying Foaming Gel Cleanser. But now let's get started with wetting the face. Then use about a coin-sized amount of cleanser, rub it between your hands, and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now rinse it off using lukewarm water. Then take your damp clean washcloth and follow along the hairline around the eyes where you may have missed some cleanser as well as your sunscreen and your makeup. Then I recommend rinsing again. And now, before you're going to apply your La Roche Posay Effaclar Duo Plus to the skin, make sure to take a clean towel and gently pat all over to remove the excess water drops on the skin surface, to ensure that the Effaclar Duo can properly absorb into the skin, that it does not get diluted with the water drops on the skin surface, that it does not cause any like skincare peeling or weird dry or tight feeling, or in the worst case scenario, sensitivity. Once you're done with your cleansing step, you can move on to La Roche Posay Effaclar Duo Plus and apply it to the skin. You can apply it all over your face and neck using a pea to a bean size amount, or just on a specific area, like for example your cheek or just your forehead, if that's your current main issue to treat your concerns. But then make sure to use less. Otherwise, the more you're going to use, the more likely you can come across sensitivity. You just want to have a very thin and even layer all over that absorbs quickly into the skin. And when doing the application, avoid applying it on top of your eyelids. Do not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. Do not use it on top of your lips. If you have a sensitive eye contour, please avoid this part as well. About that much. Blend it between your fingertips and then do the application. Once you have blended it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off, and then give it about a minute, maybe up to 2 minutes if needed, so they can fully absorb into the skin before moving on to the next step. Now, when it comes to the next step, with La Roche Posay Cicaplast gel, you can apply that one all over for sure, or just on areas where you come across a bit of dryness or that's a bit irritated, to hydrate and soothe plus protect the skin. If you have certain areas where you do not prefer to work with the gel, that's completely fine to customize it, but I'm now going to keep my focus on the application, using it all over to show you a proper demonstration. Use about a pea to a bean size amount when applying it all over, so similar to the Effaclar Duo Plus. About that much, more or less. Rub it between your fingers and then apply it to the skin. Making sure, again, not to get it into your eyes, not into your mouth. Do not use it on top of your eyelids and not on your lip. So, once you have applied it all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. If this is going to be your evening skincare routine, that's already it. The gel is the last step, and then there you have it. No need to use an additional moisturizer afterwards, because the gel does everything for you. However, if during daytime you have sun exposure, now your sunscreen is going to be the next step, and this is now where I'm going to head into. Just remember, between your application of your Cicaplast gel and your sunscreen, to give it a minute or two in between so it can fully absorb into the skin before doing the application. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to use La Roche Posay Anthelios Invisible Fluid. And before you're going to apply it to the skin, make sure to give it a good shake. You're going to apply your sunscreen 10 to 15 minutes before sun exposure, and as a general guide, I recommend using about half a teaspoon for your face, neck and ears. Now, that amount can be slightly adjusted depending on the area that you want to cover, the size of your face, use a bit more or less. But make sure to have an even layer all over to properly protect the skin. You can use this sunscreen all over your face and neck, including around your eyes, if it does not irritate your eyes. If it does irritate your eyes, leave out the eye area and use sunglasses instead, or switch to a different sunscreen. But generally speaking, for sure, make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. This is about half a teaspoon. Rub it between your hands and then gently blend it evenly all over. And once you have applied your sunscreen all over, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, how often you're going to reapply your sunscreen throughout the day depends on your daily activities, which you then need to adjust. If you just have short intervals where you leave the house for work, for school, heading out for lunch, and you only have a bit of sun exposure for a few minutes, well then once you have applied it properly in the morning, it should last you for the entire day. However, if you have extreme sun exposure where you cannot seek any shade, well then please make sure to reapply it every 2 hours. Or if you sweat a lot, if you're doing like loads of activities where the sunscreen can also rub off, or after swimming, then make sure to reapply it every time you're done with such an activity to maintain that protection. And so this is what I wanted to share with you. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please remember that you'll find the entire PowerPoint in the description box down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it, and subscribe to my channel for more educational skincare content, and I will see you there. Happy skincaring!